Welcome back to the Gun Collective podcast. My name is Jon Patton. I'm always here. It's like you guys can't fucking get rid of me. Before we kick off with these amazing guests this week, this is going to be a fun one. We've got two sponsors to shout out. We've got blackoutcoffee.com/TGC. Use our code TGC. Go buy the Tenacity blend. That's our signature blend. It's got a little bit of caffeine on top of the normal, and it's low on acidity. You're going to love it. Go get some Tenacity blend from Blackout Coffee and check out Vertex. It's vertx.com. Get yourself a good EDC bag. I prefer the Ready Pack. That is my favorite. It's all about looking less tactical and still having great functionality. Use the code TGC at vertx.com. I've got Justin and Ashley from JMAC Customs. It is about damn time. Guys, how are you?
Hi, we're amazing. Thank you again for having us on the show this evening.
Yes, pleasure to be here.
I am so pumped. We got to spend some time together in Virginia for the first time ever. And I think we met briefly here and there, but It was the first time we ever actually got to hang out. And it was like we had known each other for many, many years. You guys ripping on me ripping on you. It's the way I like my friendships to go. I love that kind of stuff. So for those that don't understand, what is JMAC? Like, give me the 30-second pitch on what is JMAC Customs.
So my quick pitch when people ask me, what is it that you do? We design, develop, and manufacture firearm parts and accessories. Now, our niche is the AK, right?
Okay.
But we do more than just the AK.
Really? Okay, that's good to know. I think a lot of people have mentally put you in just the AK space. So we've talked about this offline about how you guys are growing and changing and evolving. So what kind of stuff do you do beyond AKs?
So as you know, like Ash said, that's where we started. And to kind of give you a background on the products before we talk about what we manufacture for now, we always look to fill that niche, that void that you're talking about. So, as a gun enthusiast myself, I'll be, shooting on the range and I'll just think, man, this could be better if, and that this could be better if usually leads to the next product from JMAC Customs. So currently, our number one selling product is our 1913 folding stocks. These are also OEM'd by a few companies, but the 1913 folding stock, we manufactured that. Prior to that, we actually made the 1913 adapters for a bunch of hosts. So you've got the MP5, the MP5K, the SCAR, a huge series of different platforms that will allow you to install that 1913 style stock or brace. So that's our number one selling product. And then of course we have 23 or 26, I don't even know at this point, different thread pitches for our muzzle devices. So we're very well known for making muzzle devices, especially if you're going to suppress an AK, we've got a mount for you. I mean, that's kind of been our focus for the last few years, is to make sure that everyone that has an AK, we've got the mount to make sure that you can run that suppressor on that AK.
Well, now I have to attempt to suppress my AKs because you got mounts for them. So why not?
Let's do it.
I want to try and understand where, you guys are from West Virginia. You don't sound like yokels. I don't understand. Does not compute. How did you get to be where you're at now? Because I know it's been many years of effort to get here. Where did this come from?
Oh gosh, this stemmed from me working an office job. I came home one day and I was like, hey, I don't think I can do this anymore. And he said, girl, give your 2 weeks notice tomorrow. We'll start a business. Because he already had all of these ideas and innovations in mind. And we were already doing our own little YouTube reviews over on our YouTube channel, OG Days, like 2011. So, I gave that 2 weeks notice. And the very next day, he went and got the business license. We set up a bank account. We got a cell phone. And we were just ready to go. We took out a lien on our home because banks wouldn't give us a loan because we are considered high risk. So we were like, we'll just do it ourselves. So lots of work, blood, sweat, tears, and years later, here we are.
So when did you guys know that you could trust each other like that? Because that's a different kind of trust. What you just described of, hey, go ahead and quit your job. We got this. I don't care. That's a different kind of trust that people envy. Where did that come from? When did that happen?
Oh gosh, from within, I have a very hard time trusting anyone. I read energies very well. You can walk into the room and I already know like how you're feeling or whatever. But when he was like, just do it, girl, give her 2 weeks, like I knew, I'm like, all right, let's go. Like everything that we had been doing up until that point in our lives led us to that very moment. So it's like, okay, there's nothing to do but do it. And that's kind of one of our mantras. Ain't nothing to do but do it, girl. So we do it.
So you guys are married. Do you have children?
We have 2 French bulldogs.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll probably hear them some point.
I can't wait. I love Frenchies. I love Frenchies. So,
They're right beside me right now. Gunner is 11 years old today, and Draco
buddy.
is 4.
I'm going to come steal your dogs. Like I'm going to drive through your area because I'm going back west again, and I'm going to swing by, grab your dogs, and take them to Colorado with me. Me and Sean Heron are going to hang out with your dogs for a week.
Take us too.
Yeah, well, Gunner needs to go to the beach, so we would like to join too. But yeah, we've got to take the dude to the beach. He's never been to the beach, and he's 11.
You definitely have to do that.
We got to make that happen.
Do you guys like take the dogs everywhere you go at this point?
Most places, unless it's just not dog friendly, my mom loves to keep them, and she's just an hour and a half away. So I'll drive them to her, and she'll spend, the weekend or a week with them. And she cries every time I pick them up to bring them back home. But I know that they are safe when they're with her, and she enjoys their company.
That's cute. That's cute.
They go for lots of Humvee rides. Though.
Lots of Humvee rides.
I saw that on your social media. Oh, and speaking of, I saw you guys. You were on a swing or some shit.
Yeah.
Where was this? What was this all about? Tell me about it.
So the state put in an initiative to have these photo ops, and they installed a bunch of Wild and Wonderful West Virginia signs with these swings at very beautiful locations. So that one in particular was in front of a lake, not even 20 minutes from here. But a lot of the scenic areas here in West Virginia have those, and if you go on social media for us West Virginians, you'll see a lot of pictures in
Almost
those
heaven.
swings.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a white girl magnet. Just look at me, I'm on the swing, you guys. Ugh.
I'll tell you a funny story. So Carlos, CW Gunwork, was on the swing, and Ash was like, push him like a kid would, really, a dad would push a kid. Yeah. So Carlos is a big dude, right? So I'm pushing. So he starts swinging higher and higher. Well, what you can't see in the background is this like 60-foot drop off into the lake. So he comes back and hits me in this video, and I'm like 2-step wobble, and I'm looking over like, wow, that was a close one.
You almost ate shit. How do you feel? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I think that I don't know that they completely thought through the safety side of things with these swings, but I'll give it. It's a great photo op.
Well, they weren't expecting grown men to push each other on the swings. That's unlikely that they anticipated that. So you guys have this facility. Are you manufacturing right there in West Virginia? Is that where everything is actually being made?
So we have a sister company, which is MDI Co., which is in Gilbert, Illinois, and that's our main manufacturing
primary manufacturing facility, warehouse, where our shipment is executed. All of
so
that.
how's that work with you being in a different state? Like, is that a challenge? Is it like a big pain in the ass?
Exactly as you think it would be. I think that goes back to your first question on trust. So that's the biggest part. If anybody asks me like, how did you do it, or what advice would you give? It's always, and Ash is reading the book, it's the who, not the what, or the how, or what.
It's the who, yeah.
Yeah,
not
it's the
how.
who. So we got linked up with somebody who, his name is Drew. He was looking to start a machine shop. And
Drew was also on the swings.
Yeah, Drew was
Bald
one of the
guy
ones
with
on
the
the
beard.
swings. So
right.
He worked at AMS Performance, and I'm probably giving too much story on that end, but I think it's worth it. He worked at AMS.
That's a great company.
Yes, with Arnie, and Arnie is the current Cannonball record holder. That's a whole nother story for another day. But
Cannonball Run.
They design and manufacture automotive parts, so like intakes for a GTR and that sort of stuff. So Drew was in this kind of automotive space, and they decided to step out of that and start their own business. and that was MDICO. So they were looking for someone to partner up with to manufacture products for them. They didn't want to be their own brand per se. They did have some of their own products and their own ideas that they were executing in the background, but they wanted to link up with somebody that was well established and had a need for parts.
Okay.
And then we kind of got linked up through a mutual friend on Facebook.
We were looking to grow.
Yeah, so we were looking to exactly grow. And they had just got this big warehouse. And if you go back on MDI's Instagram feed way down, like you can see literally one CNC shop or one CNC machine in the middle of this huge shop. It looks like nothingness other than that CNC. And
now we're at max capacity.
Yeah,
we can't fit another machine.
Walking around and there's like this. But that relationship really was pivotal for us. He took us very seriously and he grew with us to meet our needs as we grew. And that was just huge for us.
That's kind of amazing that you guys sort of caught each other at the right time to grow two businesses essentially at the same time and become something much, much larger. Has there been any sort of hiccups with that? Like, because he's in a different state, have you had to like drop everything and go out there to solve problems? Because, you're making stuff, things go sideways. Have you run into anything like that?
No, we have not actually. We are very transparent with one another when it comes to designing, developing, execution, how things are photographed. We spend weeks, months, even naming products. They have a very good understanding of, what our expectations are and vice versa. So it's never been like, oh my gosh, this is so important, we've got to get out there, because we have trusted that we've got the right people in place to, again, help us reach our how. So it's who is helping us reach our how. We shouldn't have to be there to be someone who's overseeing everything. When you have the right people in place, they're a part of the team and they want to help you get to your how just as much as you want to get there yourself.
Yeah, I think that is it's greater than a needle in a haystack. That is a difficult relationship to forge.
Very.
Because
Definitely.
that level of trust is paramount.
And one of my key things, John, is when I get off the phone with one of our team members, I say, I trust that you will get this done how I would do it. And that is a big deal, especially coming from me, because if you know me, I trust very few people, like very few. But if I'm saying that to you, it's a really big deal.
Do you trust me?
I don't know you well enough.
I was waiting for the hell no.
No, I think you're good peeps. Our personalities mesh well together. You're awesome.
Look at it. This is backpedaling. This is what she's.
No, I'm not backpedaling. Just off of just meeting you, that when we very first met you, I'm like, I like him. I like his personality. I like his energy. He's like us. He's honest. Like, I'm the kind of person too. I love you enough to tell you the truth. And sometimes that might hurt. But yes. I'm only telling you that because I love you and, we all could do and be better.
I phrase it like I am an equal opportunity shit talker. Everybody gets made fun of. Everybody. So I want to try and understand the sort of like why'd you start with AKs at back in what was this, like 2010, 2011? That like the AK was still what I would have called a niche gun. There were tons of them here in the US, but it certainly didn't have the space in the market that it does now. Why did you chase that?
Well, I mean, this goes back to me just being a gun geek. Like literally I love the AK. I love the platform. I collected a lot of the Romanian was my favorite to collect for some reason. Everybody wanted the Russians and the Polish, which are like, nicer
no, Romax.
Guns. Yeah. So I loved collecting them. And as I collected them and as I built my own and learned how to build my own throughout that process, there were parts that didn't exist in the US, or if they did, they were very rare and very hard to get, or B, when I tried to make the AK more functional for me as a personal defensive weapon, a truck gun, a house gun, I found that it had many shortcomings. So like adapting a stock, putting an optic on it, putting lights and lasers, all those sort of things, it's not intuitive to the platform. So there were accessories at the time that I used, and that kind of taught me, okay, well, this works, but I think I can make this better. And then also too, on that side of, this is a cool part, but it's not available in the US. So one of those projects that we worked on was the East German gas block combo. And Larry Vickers actually had an original East German gas block combo off of a Weiger rifle. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, can we like borrow that so we could scan it? And he was super cool. We scanned that and then we made that a production part so people can make their own version of the East German carbines and that Weiger style rifles. So that was like the clone thing. And then we cloned some flash hiders and muzzle devices and other things. And then we really started pushing towards the modernization of the AK. And that's kind of what really got us the attention. We had no problem selling our replica products because our base customer was me. I mean, I was the base customer, so I related, what I mean?
So you could speak to that customer.
Exactly. So if I want this, somebody else has to want this too. So that those products basically sold themselves. It was the marketing initiatives to push these new and innovative products that was the hardest part of business, really, is to push these. Okay, this is better because, without putting other people down. You know what I mean? You don't want to say, well, my product's better than X person's product. You just got to go,
right.
It's innovative because
our products speak for themselves. And if you've, touched them, looked at them, handled them, ran them, then JMAC works really hard to create quality, innovative products and provide modularity to the AK platform as well as many others.
How long did it take you to nail down that little speech right there? Because that was dynamite.
It just
that
rolled
was
off
like
the
you
tongue.
read it off the damn website.
Just rolled off the tongue.
So I look at the products and I go, these do not look like the cheap crap that I normally would have associated with an AK. Obviously, prices have shifted drastically. That's like an understatement of the century. What has that done, with that price shift of the rifle itself? Has that shifted your business?
I think prices in general everywhere have shifted, from groceries to fuel to, your everyday products that you're buying for skincare, dog food, to the materials for our products, the finishes for our products. And then, people have to feed their families. So, across the board, prices have increased, not just in the gun community, in all communities.
I mean, specifically like the AKs, the prices, you could be getting an AK for $400, $500 back in the day. And those same rifles are now $1,000.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I remember when a Wasser was like $600.
Yeah.
Now they're what, $1,200?
Oh, wait. They're $1,200 now?
Last I looked on Gunbroker.
You gotta be shitting me.
I'll have to look. This could have been like right in the spike of COVID. I haven't looked at Gunbroker in a while, so don't quote me on that.
Somebody quote her directly in the comments, please.
So to directly answer your question, I guess you could answer that two ways. You've got two different things to look at here. You've got the imports that are on the decline. The imports that you used to get back in the day are not available now. And the parts kits that were coming in, really, I could go buy a Romy Jeep parts kit for nothing and build my own AK and have an AK running for a couple $100. That would never typically be our customer anyway. So I feel like that we've always targeted the person that wanted the better quality products.
Sure.
So whether the price of an AK is $400 or $1,200, it's the person who really wants to have more functionality and have the best for what they have, regardless of the costs. So we always try to focus on that value and quality side of things.
I mean, for me as a consumer, I look at parts and I think about whether they're going to hold up, because I'm rough on gear. And from what I've seen, the stuff that you guys make does hold up. I haven't like thrown it down a dirt trail or anything, but
we have.
Have you? Wait. Like, is this a video? Like,
It's a YouTube video.
It may
Yeah.
still be on YouTube, you know, since we got demonetized. We are remonetized again, though. Was it our Mod 1 or Mod 2
Mod
stock
1.
adapter? Our very first
Yep.
ever stock adapter, Mod 1 stock adapter. We took it out into his parents' farm and threw it, launched it. I mean, beat the crap
Jumped
out
on
of it. Yeah, so if that video is still living,
It's there.
it's going to be over on YouTube.
so what's the channel name so people can go find this?
It's youtube.com/Justin McMillion, JUSTINMCMILLION. Hey, I spelled my name right that time.
Hey.
That's a funny story by
That's a
itself.
funny, yeah, so funny.
Why is that? To expand on that.
So we were making our business cards for this. Okay, let me backtrack here for a second. Let me give you a preface to the story. We used to go to the Kentucky Knob Creek machine gun shoot,
Oh, sure.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and before we ever had our business license, we would just go and enjoy and meet people and buy all the things. So then when we went as like our first year as a business, we had business cards made. Well, his come back and they're all so beautiful, and my come back and he misspelled our last name. Like, not just my last name, it's been his last name his whole life. He misspelled my last name on the business card. So,
on 500 of them.
This has been a running joke since, the beginning of time of JMAC Customs, going out to an event thinking we're, so business professional, and the last name is misspelled on the business card. I don't think anybody knows, though. People misspell and mispronounce our last name all the time.
I have been handed so many janky business cards from companies that are just getting started, like they'll cross out the name and write it in pen.
Gosh.
Oh, jank all day. So we talked a little bit about at the beginning about this sort of transition that you guys are going beyond AKs.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
There's a market for it.
I think
why not?
The audience for the AK is limited. So we knew if we were going to grow and expand and scale our business, that we had to include products for other platforms. When we did that, that was kind of a difficult step for me because I didn't want to be another AR parts manufacturer. Not that that's a bad thing, but it
is a bad thing. I'm going to say it's a bad thing. You don't have to say it's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. We don't need more nonsense.
Exactly. So we just didn't want to be like making these just basic OEM parts that had no functionality beyond the functional rifle itself. So it was a struggle for me at first because I wanted to be very intentional and I wanted to keep on the side of innovation and quality. And we kind of looked and like, how can we actually do something where there's a void in the market or some sort of niche products? And then how can we do something innovative in that void, in that niche? So at the time, SIG was, they were making the 1913 folding stocks and everybody wanted that Kate Moss stock on their, you name it, Scorpion, their whatever. So anything that you could put a 1913 adapter on, everybody wanted that Kate Moss stock on, and you couldn't buy them. You couldn't go on Sib's White. Everybody was like waiting for them to come back in stock. I'm like, well, I mean, we can make a 1913 stock, right? That's easy. Turns out making a 1913 folding mech is not easy.
That was a challenge.
That was a major engineering undertaking. But the stock part, of course, we got the 1913 stock going with the rubber butt pad and the cheek risers. And, it's just, it's a staple product for us now. We try to we do make quote unquote competitive products only because there's other products on the market. But when we actually design and manufacture something, we want it to be true to us and not just put something on the market just because we think it's going to make us money or sell. It's more of, okay, so what's missing here and how can we fix it or how can we fill this gap? So that's always been our kind of our motto.
Intentional and serves a purpose, but high end, high quality. When you're spending the money, you're getting made in the USA from, husband and wife who started in their home, in their garage, to when did we even start our relationship with Drew? A few years ago. I was still shipping out of our home. until two.
Right there in that room.
Until what? 2 Octobers ago. I think this October
3.
will be 3.
Yeah.
This October will be 3. So, you're getting a high quality product from very hardworking Americans. We are very intentional with everything we design and develop. And there are some products that we've developed that you'll never see the light of day because they didn't serve at the end of the day that intended use.
Okay. So it was almost like perfect timing with COVID happening, and you guys get this relationship going with a new manufacturer. Did that like just pour diesel on the fire for you? Like, you get this new capability. How did that go during the pandemic buying craziness?
We were already working with MDI Co. pre-COVID.
Okay.
Right. And then I would say I was working 18 to 21 hours a day, sometimes even 24 hours
Good
a
God.
day.
Good God.
My anxiety was through the roof. I wanted to, please our customers. I wanted to make, our business grow and stand out. I wanted to make our families proud. And then I was to the point where I'm just like, oh my God, am I having a heart attack? Like, let me go get in the tub and soak for a little bit. So for like 3 days, my heart's pounding out of my chest, literally. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go see the doctor. And my blood pressure was through the roof. And at that point is when my doctor said, Ashley, you are going to need to hire people. And I was like, I don't know that I can do that. Let's go back to our very first word of the hour, trust, right? Trust. I have a very hard time trusting people. So from that point, I entrusted, Justin rolled out, hey, the conversation with Drew, hey, we're going to have to make some moves here. Ash can't keep doing this alone. She just went to the doctor. Her blood pressure's through the roof. What can we do? How can we make this work? So I'd say for about 6 or 7 months, we did like dual shipping. So MDI was shipping products, and then the inventory that I still had here, I was shipping. So we did split shipping until I was able to get all the inventory at MDI. And then it was just easier to scale. A lot of growing pains, but easier to scale once all the inventory was out of our home and I was able to shift my focus onto other things.
I don't think people understand how difficult it is mentally to run a business out of your home because you're basically at work 24/7.
24/7. Our front porch, our garage, this foyer, this room, the whole cabinet, the table, it was all just filled with JMAC product. And then remember, at this time, we are doing our own inspection. We're doing our own kitting. We're doing our own customer service. We're doing all of the shipping, all of the mail runs, all of the deposits, social media. So, it begins to take a toll on you because...
And I have a job.
Yeah. So like for the longest time, I'm like, we can do this. We don't need anybody. And then at that point, it's like, okay, when it starts to make an impact on your health, okay, yes. But it took me.
I like how the impotence for you, you almost died, and that's what it took. That's what it took. It wasn't. Wow, we're shipping. It wasn't. I'm working 18 hours a day all the time. It was. I almost died.
Hey, our work ethic is unmatched.
I heard that. Yeah.
Unmatched.
That's unreal. So
I think Ash likes to avoid all the questions. So directly answer your question.
I'm giving you preface. I'm giving you preface on the scalability, right? So I'm giving you some foresight here.
The timing for MDI and us getting our feet wet with them and really getting everything in place, it couldn't have been any more perfect.
The timing was everything.
When that rush hit the last couple years, we were very well positioned to take full advantage of filling the market. Like supply demand, we were there. We had products that would go out of stock for maybe like 2 to 4 weeks and we would have it back. And we were just really on top of the game with all that stuff. So we were very well positioned to take full advantage of the crazy buying during COVID.
Yes, because we were set up with warehouse and fulfillment, given my doctor saying, Ashley, you need to hire people. So yes.
So you did really well. You did good during the pandemic because you almost died. That's
That's her
the
side of the story. We did because my side of the story is we had a really good relationship with somebody
There you
who helped us get through
We
it.
have a fantastic relationship with MDI, and they saw the need for JMAC, and they were willing to put those who's in place to help us, reach our end goal. And it just makes so much more sense, right? Because our anodizing and nitride facility are also local. So, we're not having to pay all those shipping fees back and forth, drive an hour, drop it off. When it's ready, drive an hour, pick it up, and then start QC and kitting, and then get ready for, product launches, restocks, and fulfillment.
It's a lot. I don't
It's
think
a lot.
I don't think I would have the patience to run a business like that. I can barely keep up with what I do now, let alone all the different SKUs and all the different parts and trying to actually innovate. I think I would have had a multiple aneurysms by now.
So many SKUs. But, MDI, I don't know, like the people. Drew is really good at finding the right people, right?
Sure.
Everyone who's in
that's not
place,
easy.
they just excel, and we're ready to even we even want to bring on at least 2 more people by the end of this year. So,
Oh, wow.
we're
Okay.
we're looking to grow so that we can continue doing what we are best at doing.
So if you're listening and you need a job and you're not a piece of shit,
If you're ready to go into a full-blown panic attack from working 18 hours a day, we got the position for you.
yeah, that's all you got to do is just.
Hey, let me remind you, when this was happening, I wasn't even getting paid. We didn't even start paying me until after fulfillment was
After she almost died. Is what
after fulfillment was
You wouldn't even got workers' comp. This is bullshit, Justin.
wouldn't get it
Justin,
now
what the
anyway.
hell, man? Yeah, that's. I respect the hell out of you guys for keeping it tight to your chest, so to speak, for as long as you were able to, because that is ultimately where some businesses go sideways, is they try to shed all of these responsibilities very quickly and end up, just casting all of the business to the 4 corners of the US, and it just never works.
I have a hard
This
time
company
letting
makes a
go.
screw, that company makes a screw, and
Yeah.
it sucks. It sucks.
I
Because
have
then
a hard time
go ahead.
letting go of responsibilities.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know a lot of people, I'll try to phrase this right. Most people go into business to make money, and, it wasn't like, don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, you have to make money or you can't continue in business. But to me, it was like, this is kind of my purpose. Like, I'm good at this. This
Mhm.
is what I was designed for. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's like,
Mhm.
this is just my nature, and I get to do what I love in life, and hopefully one day get paid for it. I didn't start getting paid till last year.
Exactly.
So
Do what you love, and the money will come.
yeah. So you gotta that's you're right. Having a business is very hard, and you've got to make money. But if you go into business just to make money, and you put those people in place, like, okay, I'm going to set this business up, then I'm going to go over here and do this. If you don't have a true passion for it, it's really hard to make money at it, because you're not going to be good at it. And, when we set out to do this, I said, if we're going to do this, I want to be the best at what we do. And I want to be my best version of me every day. So every day I want to be better than I was yesterday for me, not compared to anyone else. And that's my ultimate goal, is to just enjoy this and just keep growing it until it's at the size where it's comfortable, I guess would be the best way to put it.
I respect the hell out of that position. I really do. I think one of the most difficult things for me has been finding ways to grow and find new people, because I've tried, and it's always been kind of a roadblock for me. So I'm glad that you guys were able to figure that out. I'm also glad that we have sponsors like Blackout Coffee. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/TGC. Get yourself some Tenacity Blend. I promise you will freaking love it. Start your day with the best coffee around. Blackoutcoffee.com/TGC. Go to Vertex, VERTX.com, and use our code TGC. Get yourself some apparel, some stackable storage bags, maybe an EDC bag. Get the best gear, because you're not messing around. You're listening to the TGC podcast and you want to buy good stuff. That's Vertex.com. and use code TGC. So we're growing the business, we're expanding through the pandemic, we've got all this influx of capital, and we're going, okay, what the hell, let's continue to push American manufacturing, let's keep going. What's like the latest thing that you guys are pushing towards? We've seen all kinds of new guns coming out. What are the latest things that you guys are focusing on? Are you just dialing deeper into AR-15 or maybe another platform?
So I would say our MMS handguard. So we've recently launched a series of modular mounting system. This is a modular handguard for, well, the AK platform. I think he's got a...
I'll be her Vanna White.
Okay,
Oh, look at that.
yeah.
So for the people that will be listening to this won't be able to see this, can you explain what we're seeing visually?
This is some space age technology.
Yeah, that looks like some Kraut space magic right there.
So we designed a platform. I don't know if platform, maybe it's almost like a chassis for the AK.
Oh, wow.
That is at its core a mount that directly attaches to the barrel. It does not interface with the receiver or the handguard retainer, which most handguard systems do. And at the base, on the base, you attach our our M-LOK handguard. Accessories to that make this kind of unique. Of course, we've got the 1913 gas tube, which is great for mounting your accessory buttons, lasers, lights, whatever you want. But we also have the ability to mount optic mounts directly to this lower handguard mount. And like I said, when we first started this, one of the biggest shortcomings of the AK is how do you mount an optic to this thing? It's got a dust cover instead of a 1913 rail across the top.
Right.
So this was our answer to that. And this requires 0 modifications to the firearm and only requires 19 Allen wrenches to install it. And it can be installed in minutes. So you can go from a wooden handguard AK to a completely modernized AK, especially with our suppressor mounts here. So you can run any modern accessory on this firearm: lights, lasers, optics, suppressors, M-LOK devices, slings, you name it, all on this. If you want to call it a chassis, you can, all on this one unique piece here.
MMS is what we call it, the modular mounting system. So, bring your AK to the 21st century.
Have you noticed, I mean, obviously you're producing this as a real product. You said it attaches directly to the barrel. Are there any accuracy anomalies from that? Like how's that work?
That's the accuracy improvement, because what happens, that is a great question. So the handguard, a traditional AK handguard, you've got this retainer that slides forward and backwards on the barrel.
Okay.
And then on the front part of your handguard, you've got like a little 2-prong spring. So as you collapse this, you got to fold a lever down. It's a cam lock, and it causes tension between the handguard retainer and the receiver. So what that does is induces harmonics, barrel harmonics, because it won't allow that barrel to flex as it could in a free-floated chassis, for example.
So I see. I get it now. Okay.
Yeah. So where our handguard directly attaches to the barrel, it allows the barrel to have a natural movement instead of being bound up. And then also the same applies to our 1913 gas tube. If you watched meltdown videos of an AK, the first thing that happens, the failure that happens, is the barrel starts to droop.
Yeah.
And the gas tube, the only thing that holds the gas tube in place is literally the distance between the gas block and the rear sight. That's it. There's nothing that really technically holds that in place. So once that barrel starts to droop, there's nothing that holds the gas tube, and the front misaligns with the gas block itself, and then the gun will fail. So having this attached to the barrel, it keeps that piston going back and forth into that gas block as it should, making it more reliable over a longer duration of sustained fire.
So how do you retain rigidity if you're attaching in the rear and you've got this longer thing hanging out the front? How do you maintain some level of rigidity for mounting lasers and things of that? Like, how does that work?
That is an amazing question. So the 1913 part itself on the gas tube is where we recommend lasers to be mounted. This portion up here is affixed very tightly to the barrel. This handguard is actually, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on video. This handguard is actually, you can move it side to side.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I can tell a little bit. Yeah.
Not really. Yeah. So, I mean, it's got enough deflection that you can see it move, right?
Sure.
So what we found is we've got competitive shooters that shoot for us, and Clayco 47. We sent one of these early prototypes out to him to run. And what he found is when he dives into those barricades, he can put as much pressure down sideways, and it has no influence on the point of impact because it doesn't move the barrel. Now, that handguard can move wherever you want, but where that 1913 gas tube is more affixed, that's where you put the laser. You wouldn't want to put a laser on this particular handguard.
I see. Okay, so the rigidity for a laser is in that pick rail gas tube, and then
Yes.
you intentionally have that flex within the handguard itself, where that's less important to have rigidity. Okay,
Right, because if you
that
threw it
makes
up on
sense.
that barricade and it didn't flex, you're going to cause inflection on your barrel.
Right, you're imparting. I mean, I've seen so many wacky things happen with a lot of, it happens more often than not in bolt actions where the stock is super close to the barrel, and
Yep.
you impart force on the bipod, and then whoop, accuracy gone out the window. So It's interesting that you solved that by sort of reverse engineering. I think that's interesting.
And a lot of people have struggles with, well, this should be super rigid to the barrel. I'm like, well, yeah, we can make a mount for that, but you're losing that inherent accuracy gain that you achieved from that free floated action. So, when you rigid mount that, when you push that handguard on something, however you force that handguard, it's going to force the barrel too. So
Yeah,
that's your option.
I think it's been one of those things with the AK platform is everybody argues whether or not it's capable of being precise, whether or not it's capable of that sub-minute accuracy. What do you think?
Sub-minute?
Yeah.
Like, no. I mean, can you make it?
Okay.
So if the AK is great for what it was designed for, if you're in a field and there's a guy within 300 yards, you're probably going to hit him. And I mean, that's what it was made for. It wasn't made for shooting holes in paper at even 100 yards, really. If you're looking for a platform to shoot paper with, this isn't it. I guess would be the best way to put it. But you can reliably place shots accurately enough to be effective within that 300-yard range.
So with your system, if we're talking about gaining accuracy, are we gaining accuracy through consistency, or are we gaining, better, tighter groups? Like where are we seeing the improvements?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I like that.
So we had several testers install this, and they just ran their iron sights, and we saw anywhere from like a 1/2 to a 3/4 MOA improvement just by changing the handguards and shooting the same distance.
I don't think there are very many products where you can get that level of improvement on any rifle platform. I can't think of one off the top of my head where you can gain 1/2 to 3/4 MOA improvement just by swapping a handguard.
We're talking like starting at 3 MOA. So
right. Well, if you're bringing it closer to a precision or a more accurate rifle, then you can trust that thing in different ways.
So, I mean, to me, if you're in that 2 MOA arena, then you've got an effective tool.
I mean, that's what minute of man at how big is 2 MOA at 1,000 yards? What's that? 20 inches? And that is certainly enough to put holes in a flesh target, shall we say. I think that's totally reasonable. And considering that a lot of AKs are just god awful with accuracy, that's a respectable place to be for the platform. So what are you making for AR-15s right now, to counteract that? We have to back off the AKs. What are you doing for ARs now?
Muzzle devices. We've got handguard accessories for M-LOK compatible. Our SFG, HRD. Stay on our newsletter and you will get updates about new and upcoming products for the AR-15. Of course, we've got stocks with the 1913 attachment there. What are we considering the BRN 180?
That's I call that an AR upper, because
Right?
regardless of,
Okay.
I think it goes on an AR lower, therefore it is an AR part.
Okay, so I outfitted a BRN 180 for Mr. John Keys at the Guns Out event last month. So be on the lookout for that video. You can see us outfit it from tip to tail with everything that we offer for the AR-15. So we've also got like flash hiding muzzle devices, blast shields, our 360 HD, key mount devices. What else, Justin? We have so many products.
Our
So many
number one
SKUs.
selling product for AR is definitely our key mount muzzle devices.
Definitely. Half by
So
28.
we're licensed through Dead Air to do their key mount technology.
Okay.
And then we have muzzle brakes, muzzle brake comps. We also have flash hiders.
Good God.
We do make a unique key mount option. That's our 360 HD, which is what Ash just mentioned, and it has no barrel restrictions. It does not require timing. A 3/4 inch socket goes on the front to tighten it.
That's our latest and greatest.
It's definitely my favorite by far to date.
So you say no barrel restrictions. I have a 4-inch 5.56 above my head.
Well, you can try to break it if you want.
Let me send you one.
No, I'll bring that gun to your house and we'll shoot it.
We could just literally, due to Jon Patton destroying one, the new barrel limit is 4 inches.
Oh,
do people even read the barrel length restrictions?
Well, say that one more time.
I said, do people even read the barrel length restrictions?
I do, because of that gun. If I didn't have that gun, I wouldn't read them.
See, and that's what led us to manufacture the 360 HD, because we've done torture testing, and then we've also had people do torture testing for us. We have a very small group that we send products to that we look forward to their feedback. And usually if anyone can break it, it's going to be one of those people, in those groups. And that's why we have some barrel restrictions in place. But the 360 HD, unless you're able to break it at 4 inches, we'll test it out and see. But as of now, there's no barrel length limit.
Phrasing.
So the one thing that she didn't mention, not to interrupt, is we do manufacture forged AR lowers.
Oh yeah, we
that's
do.
Interesting.
Yes.
I was going to ask, when's the transition to just selling rifles? And that's in that vein.
Let me cover the AR lowers, and then I'll tell you why we don't do rifles.
Okay.
So remember I said I don't want to be another AR parts manufacturer?
Sure.
Yeah, we learned that the hard way with the AR lowers. So we, as you know, we always focus on the premium side of things. So we really took our time and just wanted to have these AR lowers be absolutely perfect. As you know, they are forgings, right? So with forgings, you get different consistencies and percentages of alloys, metals in that.
Right.
So, we manufactured it, we machined it. They looked absolutely phenomenal. And I'm just like, man, this is beautiful. Everything just is absolutely perfect. We do some testing with it. We send some off to anodizing. We get them back and there's like pitting. I'm like, no, I don't think so. Like, this is not a quality product to me, and it's normal pitting that you would see on other lowers, but it's not acceptable for me.
Not acceptable for JMAC.
So we start digging into this, and I'm like, what's happening? Why is there pitting on this? Well, it was a certain particular percentage of that alloy that was actually melting out in that anodizing process. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So like we lost
something that was out of our control.
And to me, like, I'm sure some people would be like, yeah, let's just sell them, whatever. But like this, we got lost like 30 to 40 some percent to blend because they had these like small little, and it was just little imperfections.
If we're going to put our name on it, it's got to be literal perfection. And then if it's not literal perfection, then, hey, this is a blemished product, and know that you are receiving a blemished product.
So the other thing that we wanted to do too is, we're an SOT, and we have a lot of friends who have their SOT. So we wanted to have that pocketed lower as well. So we did that, but it's a Colt standard lower with our logo on the side. And
it's very beautiful.
The anodizing process that we use it looks extremely nice. We always go above and beyond on the actual like deburring, tumbling, whatever process that we use, glass bead blasting, it's all different for every product. But the finish, the finished product, we want to have this nice lustrous black look. We don't, we're not like into the Parkerized type thing. When you pick it up and look at it, you want to say, ooh, I don't know what this is. If like,
Quality.
imagine if you're like someone that doesn't even know anything about guns. You just pick this part up and you're like, ooh, I don't know what this is, but it's pretty. Like,
Sure. Right. No, right.
we want
Yeah.
that nice, presentable finish. And so long story short is we spent a lot of time trying to make something that is a little bit nicer than what's out there, and it was a major pain in the butt.
Well, if your whole brand image is premium parts and you release something that isn't up to that standard, then you get judged by that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
We can get judged for everything.
Well, I'm less worried about what people think about me than I am more about my own standards. So sure. I wouldn't put something on the market because I would be concerned what somebody would say about it. I wouldn't put something on the market because I don't like it. You know what I mean? So that's more concerning to me. It's like this is my legacy, our legacy.
Yeah.
And at the 100 years from now, when we don't exist, I want someone to pick up a JMAC product and be like, I don't know who these people were, but I bet you they were cool. You know what I mean? So like, I want that long-term legacy, quality parts. And just like you said, if you buy something, you want it to be last, and hopefully it lasts as long as the gun or outlast the gun. And, put it, World War VII comes along, somebody picks up our 1913 stocks off of a gun that's being dropped in war, and like, oh, this is sweet, I'm gonna put it on my gun. I
like that you skipped 3 through 6. You're like World War VII. Shit's getting rowdy.
I am in JMAC products. World War VII. We're gonna go straight to that one.
Well, let's go straight back to our first word of the evening: trust. When you buy from JMAC, you can trust that you are getting a prestigious quality.
Prestigious.
Yes. Prestigious to me is more than premium. Like, prestigious brand, hardworking Americans, we go to work every day to produce quality products for you that will outlive us all, right?
Yeah, hopefully that's the idea, right?
I think it's more than that too. It's like, I want the customer to like really appreciate it too. Like, if you don't like it and you don't appreciate it, maybe you got the wrong product. Maybe
fuck you.
Maybe
John, I'm dead. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm so dumb.
No, I love nothing more than someone to like say, dude, I got your XYZ product and I absolutely love it. It made my firearm shoot better. It's more accurate. It's less recoil.
I won a competition. I placed first. I placed in the top 3. I placed in the top 5. I love hearing all of our customer feedback. But back to your question, I think Justin kind of gave
dodge a question.
Justin gave the backstory.
To be
on
fair,
the
Ash almost died.
She did. So. I heard that story.
That was one of the scariest moments I think ever in entrepreneurship. No. But,
I'm also hold on. I'm also impressed with the fact that you waited 3 goddamn days to go to the hospital.
It
3 days. You said your heart's beating out of your chest. You wait 3 days.
Yeah.
It might be a heart attack. I don't know. Let's wait another 24 fucking hours.
Is this arm supposed to be numb?
Yeah.
I had work
Why
to
is
do,
my
and
foot
no one
blue?
was going to do it. Remember, Justin has an actual job on top of JMAC, so he was reporting to his job. I had no help. At the time. So I have help now, and I have a very trustworthy team, and that's a big deal for me to say.
So what question did I not answer?
I don't know at this point, but I want people in the comments. I want the comments to guess what Justin does besides JMAC. I want them to guess in the comments.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
I like
cool.
it.
I think that'll be fun.
So drop it in the comments below.
Yeah, leave a comment with what you think Justin does for a living, because
guarantee you'll get it wrong.
Or a second living. Yeah, exactly.
Second living. Actually, this career pays for our life, right? Because we didn't even start paying ourselves from JMAC until, October makes 3 years ago, and for him, about a year or a little over a year. Yeah. Every dime JMAC made, we put back into building JMAC.
We're still in growth mode. I mean, everything, we want to grow our team, first of all. So I think you asked, like, where are we going to grow next? Like, that's my goal, is to grow the team. to put people in place to replace us.
I have already manifested 2
Yeah.
more team players by the end of the year. So let me magnetize you to me. I have already manifested you. Let's go.
If you want to work 18 hours a day and almost have a heart attack and almost die.
Yeah,
Give Ash a call.
that's what you have
my
to look forward
specific
to.
Experience. Listen, that's my specific experience. JMAC Customs is literally our child.
When
And-
hustlers are us.
So
and I'll
these,
do anything for it.
These 2 people, are they Illinois people?
So our team that directly works for us is scattered.
So there are some in Illinois.
Yeah.
And then we've got Rob. He is in Arizona. And then we've got Alan. He is in Colorado.
Oh, wow. So you guys are like remote working is your thing at this point.
If you are capable of completing a task working remotely, yes. If you have challenges with time management working from home, don't reach out.
This is the longest job description I've ever heard in my life. It included someone almost dying. So you're looking for a couple people. Where's the company going? Like what's the end goal? Like what's the North Star? Obviously you want to innovate and you want to continue to bring interesting products. That's obvious. But what is like long-term, 10 years out, where do you want to be?
Where do Ash and I want to be, or where do we want JMAC to be?
Yes.
That's 2 questions. Okay.
All the above.
Let me answer the where Ash and I wants to be, and she could probably answer the JMAC question. So
okay.
We'll just answer
as you know, me, I love JMAC, so I always want to be involved in that. But I do have some other passions and other ideas that I want to pursue.
Yes.
So in order to make that happen, I've got to get people in to replace my daily tasks. So once I get those people in place, I can pursue these other opportunities. And the same goes for Ash. So I think building that team to the level of trust that we were discussing a little bit earlier, we get this team in place, then we can pursue other things that will also, we have our eggs in one basket. I know we have our eggs in one basket right now at JMAC. So if we diversify our portfolio, we can have more financial strength for not only that company, but multiple companies, to where, you know, if something happens in the gun industry, we can still support our team, because that's very important to me. I want to make sure that everyone that we currently have, if they want to be part of the team, they remain part of the team, and we can support them,
provide those opportunities
and their family. And then, you know, in addition to that, we want to offer opportunities for other people and make sure that we, you know, consistently can provide for them. Now, if you want to answer the JMAC thing.
I mean, I feel like that was part of the JMAC thing where we want to
blended.
be.
It's blended. So you're a blended family.
We want to diversify, right? We want to diversify. We want to grow the team. We want to build the team. We're interested in properties. We're interested in consumables.
Okay.
All the things. Like, we have passions for so many things. But again, when people only want to put you in this certain box, we kind of want to expand, you know, their thoughts about JMAC and about Justin and I, and see that we are more than just, you know, the AK couple. We do many other things too. And we try to share that on our lifestyle page. So you see us, you know, travel. He's got the Humvee and the Deuce and a Half out here that he works on with his friend. We have so many innovative ideas. I don't want to give away too much, but, you know, if you follow our lifestyle channel, you can maybe get a feel for some other things that we're passionate about.
I heard through no source at all that you guys are going to make 10 cents around 5.45 ammo next year. Is that true?
I've never heard that.
Both of you, like, what? I've
never heard that. This source.
No, that's why I said I heard it through no source at all. I just made that
did
up.
You make this up?
Yeah, I just made it up.
It's like, this source is not credible.
You said consumables, and I'm like, oh, they should make ammo. And then I was like, what ammo would they make? Oh, 5.45.
We definitely will not be making ammunition.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, wait.
What is happening? What is this? What are you doing here? Nobody can see what you're doing.
Oh.
Nobody can see what you're doing. All I saw was you drip some stuff on your hand and then put it in your hair. I don't know what's happening.
We need a
You
narrator.
can do the ASMR.
John, next time we have one of these, can you bring a narrator on, please?
It's a shame no one
Ashley
can see
is
this
putting
because
an unknown liquid in her hair.
something. Never mind. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I
You
don't
did
wanna
this to
say anything about
yourself.
Mary moment. Listen, it's a shame people can't see us right now because we look good.
Well, I do this I release the video version and the audio version. So somebody would probably have picked up on what you're doing, but the audio version has no idea what you just did.
Well, you explained it. You narrated it.
Yeah, I tried. Unknown
Something that I'm
substance in her
passionate-
hair.
It's my current passion project.
So for next year, JMAC, we're going to focus on, and then this is not sexy at all.
Okay.
Continuous improvement. We're going to go
It is sexy.
with the lean approach and make sure that we have our inventory levels correct for our valued partners and make sure that we're meeting their needs without having an excessive amount of inventory.
That's smart.
We're really going to focus on expanding the team, focusing on our core products. Once we're going to expand some of our core products, and then we're going to, you hear the gargoyle here. We're going to expand some of our core products, and then we're going to innovate probably Q2. So the innovation for this year is the MMS. So next year is going to be more of a prioritization, focus on the core, and then get back to innovating again.
I love how you just said, oh, sorry. Excuse
It's all right. Go ahead.
I love how he says this year the focus is just the MMS. We have launched how many new products this year?
We've launched over 60 new products this year.
So when it comes time to vote for the Gundies, most innovative brand of 2023, you better nominate and vote for JMAC.
Yeah, we were always coming out with something new. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Well, maybe we can convince you guys to come out to GunCon next year.
I love that.
And participate and show off what you do. We do have to wrap up, though. And I want to know, is there anything else that you want the TGC audience to know about you guys?
Well,
real quick, Ash almost died once.
Well, I was just based on a question that you asked that Justin kind of didn't get to, and then we kind of got off topic.
That's okay.
You ask if we are going to come out with full-blown rifles.
That's the one.
Yeah, I did ask that.
I would just say subscribe to our weekly newsletter. That's where we drop, the bombs, essentially. That's where you know where we'll be, the newest product launches, our collaboration.
How do people find this newsletter?
So you can go to our website, jmac-customs.com, and just subscribe to our weekly newsletter. We only send you good stuff. No crap, okay? Every Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're getting an email about what we're launching, what is restocking, if there's an event that we're at, or a new YouTube video or a new blog post. So we're just giving you information about the brand weekly.
Discount codes.
Well, guys,
discount codes, promotions, all that good stuff there.
So we do discount codes that we don't do on social media in our email.
In our email blasts.
So
email blasts are usually the first people to see it unless you're signed up for a restock, and that restock hits before the email blast goes out. But back to the full firearm. Justin mentioned CW Gunworks earlier, so just keep looking out for JMAC CW collab.
All right. I am excited about that. I have no idea what it will be, but I am effing excited. Guys, this was a lot of fun. I really appreciate your time. I know you're very, very busy trying not to die in a hot tub. I really do appreciate it, though. Of course, if you guys want to check them out, jmac-customs.com. They've got all kinds of incredible stuff. Find them on social media as well. Justin, Ashley, thank you for your time. Of course, check out our sponsors, Blackout Coffee and Vertex. I've beat them into your ear the entire episode. Help support this show by supporting our sponsors. And as always, thank you all for watching, listening, etc. We'll see you soon.